So here's the jam. I had a milestone on Thursday, but of course, I'm not a monster. I was not about to do anything about anything until Doc had his amazingly big day. So I kept it until today to talk about it. And it's not because I want to be like, yay, but I want to share the story because I've kind of drawn some really interesting conclusions from this milestone. And the milestone is, friends, that on Thursday, I ran my 90-second live stream. So you're saying, girl, you tripping. Keely, why 92? Why 92 live streams? Whoever cares about 92 live streams? Okay, first of all, you're not the boss of me, and I can pick any damn number I want. Second thing, let me tell you why. Those who know me might know that I was an international field hockey umpire. And in 2002, I walked onto the pitch for the very first time for an international game. Now, in field hockey, they're called caps. If you whistle a full senior side, controlled rosters, passports, consequences, everything, it's called a cap. So the players are in caps, the umpires are in caps. And 2002 in Largs, Scotland. Go Google it, I'll wait. I was on tour with Canadian women, and they played 4 games against Scotland, 3 games against Wales, or vice versa, whatever. Walked onto the pitch, and I did my very first international game. And here's a seg for you, or a side story. Unbelievable. My 90-second live stream on Thursday, I interviewed a Scottish umpire known as Martin Madden. He happens to be one of the best umpires in the world. We had a blast, great interview. And I told him, Martin, when I did my very first international cap in Scotland, do you know who my umpire manager was? Now, an umpire manager is like an umpire coach. Martin played along and said no. It was his dad, Craig Madden, who is also, in his time, a fantastic world-level umpire. Just incredible. He was my UM. And then on my 90-second stream, there you go. Okay, why am I pounding on about the 92? Over the course of my international umpiring career, I did a large number of matches, but had to retire in 2016 for a variety of reasons. Some of it was just that I was getting close to the retirement age of 47. But my knees were crap. I was just in too much pain to umpire. So I retired in 2016 on precisely 92 caps. Now, this is a big deal in the sense that, much like 92 live streams, 92 caps is not 100. And in our sport, 100 caps is a big deal. If I had reached 100 caps, I would have been awarded what we call a golden whistle. There would have been a ceremony at the pitch, and when the players were lined up for the anthems, somebody would have walked out with a bouquet of flowers, and then this pretty little box with an actual golden, but probably not very valuable, whistle in it. Presented it to me. There would have been some probably derisory applause. A few people would have been excited, but not the players. But I would have joined a group of about 35 women in the world who had achieved that marker. I think it's more like 40 now, actually. Anyway. But I retired on 92 caps, 8 measly games short from this magical round number. And you know what? I felt like a failure. Nope. It was really hard for a few years. that feeling of failure turned into some, just sort of generalized bitterness. I'm just kidding. And now I feel quite differently about it, because I'm now on this very different path in my umpiring career where, let's face it, I wasn't the best umpire in the world. I was good, but I was not the best umpire in the world. But when I turned to helping others, and I turned to teaching umpires how to be better, building a community, supporting them, sharing my excitement, my passion with these amazing people all over the world, people who, like me, had really lacked a lot of support over the years. When I did that, it all fell into place. I became, with a lot of hard work, the best umpiring educator in the world. Now, that's not a brag. That's just reporting the news, friends. That's facts. And I'm really proud of that journey. April 2020. April 3rd. I had found this obscure and completely adorable little piece of software called Ecamm Live. I just found it on a random Google search and I thought, well, maybe this would be a way for me to reach out to people. And I probably had it downloaded for a few weeks. But it took some time for me to try to go live. But on April 3rd, I did it. I went live for the first time on YouTube. Now you can go back into my YouTube channel and you can go and find the link, but trust me, friends, without a word of a lie, no cap, I was terrible. That video is terrible, but I love it. I absolutely love that video. There's about 32 views on it. Do not pump those numbers, friends. Do not. 32 views, which is probably about the same number of people who witnessed my first international match in 2002. 2 teams, some coaches, some tech officials, my colleague, an umpire manager. Yeah, maybe a dog. Math checks out, about 32 people. And I've realized in the course of these 92 live streams that there is such an incredible parallel between what I did as an umpire and what I'm doing now. And I didn't even realize that I'd gotten to 92 until maybe about a week ago. I went back and I counted. And I was like, 34, 26, 92 live streams. And it's all because I started. In 2002, I was terrible. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't have the tools, I didn't have the equipment, I didn't have the experience, I didn't have the knowledge. But I said, yes, I'll go umpire, sure. The trip to Scotland and Wales. I started. And that, I think, friends, is what a journey really is about. Is about acknowledging your own courage that you started and you kept going. Now, you can probably imagine umpiring field hockey, especially internationally, is really hard. A lot of people hate you. Most people criticize you. Even your friends in the sport are kind of like, you made that mistake. Me, I lost my best friend because of a mistake I made umpiring. But I kept going and I kept showing up and I kept doing it because the process of getting better was just so intoxicating for me. It just drove me and it didn't matter how many times I got knocked down. I just kept getting back up. And I got back up 92 times. So I just wanted to come in here today to talk about how much this 92, this number of 92 live streams means to me, and how incredible it's been over the last 5 months, 6 months. I think that I've been part of Let's Get Live and the Ecamm Facebook community, that I've found you. I found all of you. I found the community and the support, which is this elegant flip of a wormhole of what I have been doing with umpiring. Providing that same kind of facility for the third team to all get together and to cheer each other on and support each other and make each other better. And it's just like, my mind is just, because I can't even understand all the ways that these perils and these things coincide. So when I say that 92 live streams is my big celebratory number, I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I wanted to thank you all from the same place for being a part of it, for being witness, for keeping me in line when I'm occasionally a jackass. Sorry, Joel. And it's just been an amazing amount of fun. So thank you for being a part of that. So I think that was my story. I have notes that I didn't look at, and I told everything out of order. And check. Oh, I forgot to say the whole thing about how the golden whistle is like basically a YouTube plaque, like a gold plaque. So I could have got whistled. No, doesn't work. That wasn't funny at all. There you go. You know what else is really fun? Is that my live streams, just no matter what I do, they always go for what my crowd calls a Keeley hour. As I say, I'm only gonna go for an hour today. And then we go for 90 minutes, which, friends, is how long a hockey match is. It takes about 90 minutes to make. I tell you, it's just creepy. It's just stupid creepy. So for those of you out there, not all these beautiful people I already know in the comments, but maybe you've never seen me before. Maybe you haven't started yet. I can't tell you passionately enough, I can't possibly overstate this, how much you just need to start. Because this is it. Having started, you're now going. Teaching and helping is the most amazing way. Yeah, it is. The way that I have improved as an umpire, maybe I'm not going to be able to get out there again, and I'm certainly never going to get out there as an international umpire again. Unfortunately, that time has passed. I'm too old. But what I've learned about the craft, how I've been able to think about it, I mean, I am a thought leader, and I am now being sought out to help shape future policy, basically, in the area of the rules. And I think that's really cool because I'm going to be really good at it. Okay, India, I was, but I embrace the suck, okay? So I'd already been live streaming for math, 8 months. Before I even knew that there were people out there who were doing it so much better. But I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. I'm always telling the umpires I work with that you are absolutely going to make mistakes, and you're going to make a ton of them, but it's the only way to learn. It's the only way. But you know what? You're going to walk off that pitch, and hopefully nobody's died. No world wars have started. You've learned. You started. You accepted, and you started. And that is, it's everything. Did I say that before? I don't know, probably. So anyway, that is my milestone. 92, I want it on a shirt, I want a hat, I'm gonna tattoo it on my back, along with my kanji that says, fall down 7, get up 8, of life. That's what my back says. Sometimes I feel like I forget, but it's there. thank you for listening. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate everything that you have brought into my life. Let's keep going. Let's 92 this-ish, and then let's keep going. Love you all.